is a fleeting time when for all too short a period, the very young live in a wonderful world of make-believe. Christopher Robin, like most small boys, has toy animals to play with. But though he loves them all, his best friend is his teddy bear, called Winnie the Pooh, or Pooh for short. And, as Christopher Robin says, wherever I am, there's always Pooh. There's always Pooh and me. What would I do, I said to Pooh, if it wasn't for you? And Pooh said, true. It isn't much fun for one, but two can stick together, says Pooh, says he. That's how it is, says Pooh.
Deep in the 100-acre wood, where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find the enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days.
A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kanga and Little Roo. There's Rabbit, there's Piglet, and there's Owl, but most of all Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, willy-nilly silly old bear.
Winnie the Pooh lived in this enchanted forest under the name of Sanders, which means he had the name over the door in gold letters.
And I lived under it?
Yes. Now, when Pooh heard his cuckoo clock, he knew it was time for something. But he was a bear of very little brain. So when he thought in the most thoughtful way he could think.
Think. I haven't thought of anything, have you? Think. Oh, yes. Time for my stoutness exercise. Up, down, up. When I up, down, and touch the ground, it puts me in the mood. Up, down, and touch the ground, in the mood for food. I am stout, round, and I have found, speaking poundage-wise, I improve my appetite when I exercise. I am short, fat, and proud of that, and so with all my might, I up, down to my appetite's delight. While I up, down, and touch the ground, I think of things to chew, like milk and honey and chocolate, with a hefty, happy appetite. I'm a hefty, happy Pooh.
Pooh's pantry was full of honey jars, all full of emptiness instead of honey. As Pooh stuck his nose into the very last one and found only the sticky part was left, a little bee flew into the room.
That buzzing noise means something. And the only reason for making a buzzing noise that I know of is because you're a bee.
And the only reason for being a bee is to make honey. And the only reason for making honey is so I can eat it.
And so Winnie the Pooh followed the honeybee right out of his house and over into the middle of the forest. And in the middle of the forest there was an open place. And in the middle of that place there was a large oak tree. And from the top of the tree there came a very loud buzzing noise. It was a honey tree. So Winnie the Pooh climbed it. He climbed and he climbed and he climbed. And as he climbed, he hummed a little hum.
And I call it my rumbly and my tumbly song.
Yes, and it went something like this.
Hum-dum-dee-dum, hum-dee-dum-dum. I'm so rumbly in my tumbly. Time to munch an early luncheon. Time for something sweet. Oh, I wouldn't climb this tree if a pooh flew like a bee. But I wouldn't be a bear then, so I guess I wouldn't care then. Bears love honey and I'm a Pooh Bear, so I do care, so I'll climb there. I'm so rumbly in my tumbly, time for something sweet. It's the tasteful thing to do, be it 10 or 12 or 2. For any time is food time when you set your clock on Pooh time. You know that bears love honey and I'm a Pooh Bear, and so I do care, and so I'll climb there. I'm so rumbly in my tumbly, time for something sweet to eat.
Just then the branch on which Pooh Bear was standing broke, and he suddenly dropped 10 feet onto the branch below him.
If only I hadn't...
And as Pooh said that, he bounced 20 feet onto the next branch.
You see what I meant to do?
As Pooh tried to explain, he turned head over heels and crashed onto another branch 30 feet below.
Well, it all comes, I suppose, out from liking honey so much.
As Pooh said that, he waved goodbye to the last branch, spun around 3 times, and flew gracefully into a gorse bush.
Oh, bother.
Winnie the Pooh crawled out of the gorse bush, brushed the prickles from his nose, and began to think again.
Think.
And the first person he thought of was...
Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, no. Christopher Robin.
Oh.
Christopher Robin lived in another part of the forest, where he could be near his friends and help them with their problems. On this summer day, gloomy old Eeyore, being stuffed with sawdust, had lost his tail again.
Eeyore, this won't hurt.
Never does.
Ooh. There now. Did I get your tail back on properly, Eeyore?
No matter. Most likely lose it again anyway.
It is my considered opinion that Eeyore's tail should be placed a trifle to the right.
Now, if you were to ask me, I think it's just a wee bit...
South.
No, north, dear.
Cheer up, Eeyore. Don't be so gloomy. Try swishing it.
It worked.
Oh, goody.
Thanks. It's not much of a tail, but I'm sort of attached to it.
Good morning, Christopher Robin.
Oh, good morning, Winnie the Pooh.
Good morning, Pooh Bear.
Good morning, Pooh Bear.
If it is a good morning, which I doubt.
What are you looking for, Pooh Bear?
I just said to myself, coming along, thinking, and wondering if you had such a thing as Christopher, as a balloon about you.
What do you want a balloon for?
Psst. Honey.
But you don't get honey with a balloon.
I do.
How?
I shall fly like a bee, ooh, up to the honey tree, see?
But just a minute. You can't fool the bees that way.
You'll see. Now, would you be so kind as to tow me to a muddy place of which I know of?
So Winnie the Pooh took the string of the balloon very firmly in his paw and rose up into the air. And Christopher Robin grabbed his other paw and towed him to a very muddy place, and Pooh rolled and rolled until he was black all over.
What are you supposed to be?
I'm a little black rain cloud, of course.
Silly old bear.
Now, would you aim me at the bees, please?
Careful, Pooh. Hold on tight.
5. Yes.
4.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
1.
Yes!
Pooh thought he looked like a small black rain cloud. But he still looked like a muddy little bear hanging onto a balloon. Perhaps if he sang like a little dark rain cloud, that might fool the bees.
I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering under your honey tree. Only a little black rain cloud. Pay no attention to little me. You know a hungry old Pooh cloud never gets hungry, no, not at all. I'm just floating around over the ground, wondering where I will fall. I'm not a hungry old Pooh bear. I'm just a little black honey cloud. And no one knows better than me. Bees, stealing your honey is not allowed. Everyone knows that a rain cloud never eats honey, no, not a nip. I'm just floating around over the ground, wondering where I will drip. Christopher Robin, I think the bees, S-U-S-P-E-C-T something.
Perhaps they think you're after their honey.
Well, it may be that. You never can tell with bees. Oh, I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering under the honey tree. Christopher Robin! Oh, well, I think it would help with this deception if you would just kind of open your umbrella and say, tut-tut, it looks like rain.
Tut-tut, it looks like rain. Tut-tut, it looks like rain.
Ooh. Christopher Robin, I have come to a very important decision. These are the wrong sorts of bees.
And so they were. The queen bee became especially angry, and she dove at Pooh's balloon and pricked a small hole in it. As the air rushed out of the balloon, Pooh was jet-propelled all over the landscape. But when the air was all gone, Pooh decided that he would have to come down. And he did. But Christopher Robin was there to catch him.
I'll catch you, Pooh. Ugh.
And he did. Now, Pooh was not the sort to give up easily. When he put his mind to honey, he stuck to it. Now, honey rhymes with bunny, and bunny rhymes with,
Rabbit? Yeah, and I like Rabbit because he uses short, easy words like, how about lunch? And help yourself, Pooh.
So Pooh walked right over to Rabbit's house and called into the small, round front door.
Is anybody at home? What I said was, is anybody at home?
No.
Bother. Isn't there anybody here at all?
Nobody.
Must be somebody there. Have said nobody. Rabbit, isn't that you?
No.
Well, isn't that the rabbit's voice?
I don't think so. It isn't meant to be.
Pooh couldn't wait for any more conversation, so he invited himself right into Rabbit's house. Rabbit was so embarrassed that he said all the words that Pooh wanted to hear, like,
Oh, hello, Pooh Bear. How about lunch? And help yourself, Pooh.
Oh, thank you, Rabbit.
Would you like condensed milk? Or honey on your bread?
Both. But never mind the bread, please. Just a small helping, if you please.
There you are. Is, something wrong?
Well, I did mean a little larger small helping.
Well, perhaps it'd save time if you took a whole jar.
Thank you, Rabbit.
So Pooh just ate and 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 ate. Until at last he said to Rabbit in a rather sticky voice,
I must be going now. Goodbye, Rabbit.
Well, goodbye, if you're sure you won't have any more.
Is there any more?
No, there isn't.
I thought not.
So Pooh tried to leave Rabbit's house, but his enlarged roundness only got halfway out of Rabbit's small round front door.
Oh, help and bother. I'm stuck.
Oh, dear. Oh, gracious. Oh, well, it all comes from eating too much.
It all comes from not having front doors big enough.
Oh, dear, it's no use. There's only one thing to do. I'll get Christopher Robin. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, my.
Rabbit ran out of his back door and went to fetch Christopher Robin. While he was gone, Owl flew in and settled on a branch in front of Pooh.
Oh. I say, are you stuck?
No, just resting and thinking and humming to myself.
You, sir, are stuck. A wedged bear in a great tightness. In a word, irremovable. Now, obviously, this situation calls for an expert.
Just then, Mr. Gopher popped up from his underground home.
Somebody call for an excavation expert? I'm not in the book, but I'm at your service. Gopher, the name. Here's my card. What's your problem?
Yes. It seems the entrance to Rabbit's domicile is impassable. To be exact, plugged.
And you want me to dig it out?
Precisely. I say, it's over here, my good fellow.
First thing to be done is get rid of that bear. He's gumming up the whole project.
Dash it all, he is the project.
Hard digging. Might hit bedrock. Dangerous cave-in. Risky. Need planks for bracing. Big job. Take 2-3 days.
3 days? What about lunches?
No problem. I always go home for lunch. Oh, this will run into money.
I say, how much?
Do the job for hourly rate plus cover materials plus overtime plus 10%.
And your estimate?
Yeah, can't give an estimate. Too risky.
Blast it all.
Good idea. We're dynamite. Save time.
Yeah, what's the charge?
The charge? Oh, about 7 sticks of dynamite.
Oh, no. The cost, the charge in money.
Yep, no charge count. I work strictly cash.
Obviously, but I should think...
Well, I can't stand around lollygagging all day. Got a tight schedule. If you think it over, let me know. You got my card. I'm not in the book, you know.
Oh.
Just as the Gopher left, Christopher Robin and all his friends came running up to Pooh's rescue.
Cheer up, Pooh Bear. We're coming. Here, give me a paw.
Oh, it's no use. I'm stuck.
Well, if we can't pull you out, Pooh, perhaps we can push you back.
Oh, no, not that. Oh, my gracious. Oh, dear. Having got this far, it seems a pity to waste it.
Pooh Bear, there's only one thing we can do. Wait for you to get thin again.
Oh, bother. How long will that take?
Days, weeks, months, who knows?
Mind over matter will make the pooh unfatter. It's a fine thing to go feasting, but feasting doesn't pay. For you have feasted and increased in a most obesely way. From food you must refrain, or a wedged bear you'll remain. Though it will be a strain for a bear of little brain. Think shrinkage, think thinnage, don't think of honey and spinach. Mind over matter will make the pooh unfatter. Mind over matter will make the pooh unfatter.
How about some lunch?
You're right, Pooh. It is lunchtime.
And I've brought a delicious picnic lunch.
Oh, picnic. I love picnics.
Yes, and so you won't be lonesome. We'll eat it close by.
Pass the cream pie, please. Thank you.
Try some of this.
Don't mind if I do.
How about me, fellas?
There's second helpings for everyone.
Thank you. More of what, your? Everything.
Goody, goody. Chocolate honey cake.
Rue, dear, don't eat with your mouth open.
I think I'm sort of starving from lack of food.
At bedtime, Kanga loaned Pooh her shawl and sang him a little lullaby.
Dream shrinkage, dream thinnage, don't dream of honey and spinach. It takes mind over matter to make a pooh unfatter.
A lunchbox.
It certainly is. I'm working the swing shift, you know. Time for my midnight snack. Say, ain't you that stuck-up bear? I still think I could blast you out of there.
What sort of lunch is in that lunchbox?
Well, let's see here. Summer squash. Yeah, salmon salad, succotash, spice custard, and honey.
Honey?
Honey? Oh, no!
Could you spare a small smackerel?
Say, you ought to do something about that speech impediment, Sonny.
Oh, thank you, Gopher.
Oh, no, not that. No, not one drop.
But, Rabbit, I wasn't going to eat it. I was just going to taste it.
I'll taste it for you. That supercilious scoundrel confiscated my honey. Don't feed the bear. I'm going to skedaddle. I'm not in the book, and I'm a ding-dang glad of it.
After many days of fasting, all hopes were flashed, and thunder crashed. The rain fell from the blue. They knew if Pooh got wet, their plan would be upset. He'd swell up like a sponge, and down their hopes would plunge. So they mopped him, unsopped him, they put a roof atop him, but the splash and the splatter was making Pooh Bear fatter, despite their good intentions. Pooh doubled his dimensions.
And so everyone in his own way did his best to help Pooh. Day after day, night after night, after lonely night.
When the sun came out, the sky cleared up, and the bear of Little Thingage began to dry, and by showed a high amount of shrinkage.
That morning, Rabbit made an interesting discovery when he leaned against Pooh. He moved.
He budged. Hooray! Christopher Robin! Christopher Ribbon! He bidged! He badged! He booged! Today is the day!
Hooray for you! Hooray for me! Hooray! Hooray! The Pooh will soon be free! Now the time has come for proving what the diet did for Pooh. And since we pledged he'd be unwedged, that's what we're going to do. He'll be pulled and he'll be tugged, and eventually unplugged. We'll have a tug of war to open Rabbit's door. Think cleavage, think hoeage, and out the Pooh will go-age. For I'm the Pooh unfatter. Heave ho! Heave ho! Heave, 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 heave.
There he goes! Suffering.
So Pooh flew through the air with the greatest of ease, right over to the big hole at the top of the honey tree, and right into it.
Stuck again.
Don't worry, Pooh. We'll get you out.
No hurry. Take your time. Yum, yum.
And of all the happy endings, of all of the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, this was one of the happiest, for he had all the honey he could eat.